guys? Welcome back to the next episode of Model Box Art History. We're featuring the P-40 in this video, and this is one of my favorite kits, so I was very excited to do this video and to do all the research for it and everything. So we're just going to kick it off with the first version of this kit was a Monogram kit. It was a P-40B Tiger Shark is what they called it, and that came out in 1964. Pretty cool box art there. It came in like a kind of a long, like narrow box, as you can see, and basically this kit is literally the same as previous kits. It never changed throughout its whole history of Monogram and Revell kits. Between Revell buying Monogram and everything with all the new boxings and everything, the kit never changed. This is either a good thing or it's a bad thing. Not sure which one it is. For people who love building older kits and love the older styles and like including their own details in the kit, this is a great kit. For new builders, it's a great kit because it's very simple and really easy to understand all the instructions. I mean, it's a step-by-step kind of introduction into modeling because it's so simple to do, and it's just, there's not a lot of details in it, so you don't have to spend hours and hours painting little wires and black marks and stuff like that. It's a really easy kit to build for any new beginner modeler. Monogram came out with this kit in 1964, kind of an older box art style. They changed it in 1967, and in 1968 they changed it as well to a different box art. 76, they changed it to kind of a classic Monogram style. It was a white box with a blue and red stripe. These are very common throughout all older Monogram kits. In 79, they reboxed again with the same picture, but it's just a little bit better quality. So you're able to get a little bit of better picture on your model and kind of a better box too. So, you know, I always think that those next years in the late 70s were much better model kits to look at. Other than the other model kits are kind of more dingier and they're not that well displayed as much as the later 79 kits that Monogram released. In 85, it was reboxed again with the box art that we see today. This box art, I really like it. You have a zero like crashing in the background, and you know, you can see the classic P-40 look. In 91, they changed the box again with kind of my favorite picture. It's pretty sweet. I really like and enjoy the Monogram kits that came out with the black background for all their airplanes and stuff. They had a different angle on the airplane, and they had it coming out of the darkness. It's pretty awesome. I like their style kits that they came out with, and yeah, it's just, they came out with that in 91, and they still have not changed any tooling or anything for the kit. The decals are the same, and the tooling is literally the same as it came out. I'm sure they re-released like with newer decals, like just by date, newer decals, maybe better decals, but they did not change the style of the decal whatsoever. They still had the same three variants, which was a RAF P-40, a U.S. Army Air Corps P-40, and a Flying Tigers P-40. This is actually interesting too. It actually featured a scale level on the front. Now on the back of most kits, back in the day, in those early Monogram days, they did have scale levels, but they weren't really featured on most fronts of the actual model. So I think that was a marketing kind of technique to maybe get younger people into it and to show that it really isn't that difficult to build models, and it kind of introduced the process more. So I thought that was pretty cool that, you know, because I always look at my model kits and they have the skill levels on them. I mean, you can see it right there. So it's super easy to find out really how easy your model is to build. Now, with the skill levels, they aren't true. It's hilarious. Some kits actually say a time limit on how long it takes you for that skill level. This one doesn't have it, but it is funny when you actually find kits that have how long it takes to build a skill level 5 or skill level 3 or whatever. So pay attention to your boxes. There is some funny good ones on there. They actually teamed up with Hasegawa, and Hasegawa released 2 kits with them. One with the same decal versions, but with different box art, and another with Aeromaster decals. That was pretty cool that they teamed up. I always like it when they do that because it introduces more people to the challenge and the model building community. It gives you more options, you know, in regards to building stuff. So it's always cool when they do that. And obviously the box art's pretty cool too. So Hasegawa came out with some sweet box art. I always have loved all of Hasegawa's box art, so I like those better than like the basic Monogram white ones, you know. So they usually come up with some pretty cool positions that airplanes are flying and shooting things down, or maybe just parked on the runways. So a year later, in '95, they reboxed with a blue banner of the Monogram logo. Had a little like red slash there. And they also, during the same year, they teamed up with Hasegawa again, featuring a Tomahawk 2B, which was called the Desert Shark, which was pretty cool box art as well, to feature a different style P-40. This kit was actually the first kit that I saw that a P-40 actually had British insignias on it, which I thought was really cool. I had never known. I had always known the Flying Tigers P-40. My dad got a picture of it when he was a kid. I got a picture of it when I was a kid at Oshkosh, and it's always been my favorite airplane forever and always will be. In '96, a year later, they included paint and a brush, and they literally just said, here's the kit. Buy the kit and you can paint the whole model. You don't have to buy any paints for it. That is super awesome. I wish they did that with really expensive paints. That would be great, because I would buy a kit any day with the really expensive paints that are supposed to go onto the model anytime. I think that was pretty successful, because what ended up happening next is they actually teamed up and paired it with a 0 for their next kit. Now, I know that Airfix does this still with 1/72nd scale and maybe some 1/48th, but I would love for more model companies to do this. Pair the two models up and do a dogfight model, joint combination model thing. I'd love it if some of my collection had those kind of pair-ups. That would be sweet. None of the collections that I really want, like Tamiya models or Revell models, are in that category, and I probably won't ever in my lifetime ever build a Hasegawa model or even an Airfix model, just because there's too much that I like and want and that are too expensive. And especially since I do all the decal versions, it ain't happening, I don't think, in my lifetime. Maybe, who knows, I don't know. I don't get paid to do this. I just write down stuff and talk about it. So it was cool that they paired up a P-40 with a 0, and they gave you glue, paint, a paintbrush, and literally just included everything that you needed to build a model. If you were a kid, this was prime, like, this would be the perfect thing to buy a child if they wanted to get into the hobby. You don't have to buy special paints, you don't have to buy any brushes, you just give them this and say, here you go, maybe you're good at it. They completely ruined it. It was okay, because this thing is still produced today. I mean, this model is literally, it's going to be around forever. If this thing goes above $20, which I'm sure it does on eBay because of those eBay sellers, if this thing goes above $20, I would be surprised. And if the day I die, it does, I will be satisfied, because this kit is worth more than 20 bucks. I mean, technically no, but in my heart it is, because it's just such a classic kit. I mean, most modelers probably have built this sometime in their lifetime. You know, you spend 15 bucks, 12 bucks, whatever it costs, and you build a model, you get it done within a week. I mean, it really doesn't have a lot of build time. There's a ton of customization options that you can do with this thing, and a great tester for new stuff that you're learning, like foiling or, you know, using some different paints that you'd want to use. It's a great model just to test some products out on that plastic. So in '98, they started producing Revell kits. So they made the box art like it was in '85, and I think this is a good, like, I don't know what they were trying to do here with Revell, but I think they were giving a kickback to Monogram to producing a good kit that lasted, 40 years. and is still being made. So I think this is just a nice kickback in the 80s, and they left the box art the way it was because it sold well and people enjoyed it, and the kit was great. If you're a beginner and you build this kit, you get the retro style grade that this tooling was back in the 60s. I guess you could say that the people who made this hobby like a real thing and bought the kits and kept the company alive for that many years, they gave us a future. And the fact that we're able to build models just like the ones that they built is just super cool and just fantastic to me. And the fact that it was such a fun build too, I would probably build 10 more of them. In fact, I think I have a couple more to build. So just the fact that we get to build the same things that they built back in the day that made this hobby is just ultimately cool to me. Even though it has raised panel lines and flimsy plastic, you know, it depends on what glue you use, and it depends how good your paint job is to really make this model shine. And you can do that at any skill level, whether you're young or you're just getting into modeling. I think it was my first model as a child, and then when I got back into it in my 20s, I built this model for the first time again, and it was still just as fun as when I was a kid. So it definitely brings up a lot of memories doing this model with me and my dad, and you know, just kind of developing that love for Warbirds. Thank you guys so much for watching again. I really appreciate every view and every subscriber. Make sure to subscribe. It does help me out, even though I'm not really getting paid for these videos. So subscribe, hit that like button, and comment below, you know, if you've built it. Comment, you know, pictures of P-40s. You know, join Resurrection Modeler on Facebook. I have the link in the description below. Make sure to join that so that you can share all your models with me. I will be doing videos showing off all of your guys' models, so make sure to just join Resurrection Modeler, and you can just directly message me pictures of models, or on any post that I make, you can comment pictures of models, and I check them all, I respond to them all. So this is a big family that I have wanted to build for a long time, and I've gotten to know a lot of you guys out there. So thank you again for subscribing and just being a part of Resurrection Modeler. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you in the next video.